You know, I've been waiting for the Siege of Mandalore for so long now, and it's something I've been wanting to see for like a really, really long time. And now that it's finally here, I'm really excited. But part of me is still like, no, wait, not yet. Don't go, Clone Wars. So this is it. We're finally here. We're finally at the Siege of Mandalore and the ending of the Clone Wars. Also, be sure to watch to the very end of this video, or you could just fast forward to it. I don't really care. But I have a special announcement at the end that I really want you guys to hear about, so because it involves you guys. So, yeah, stick to the end. We're finally at the end here. We're on the last 4 episodes. And you can tell there's something very special about these episodes. I really thought it was cool that they changed the intro to be more like the classic Star Wars intros from the movies. It just shows that this is something really different. This is almost like a movie release than a like Clone Wars episode release. And you can tell by the animation, like it is spot on. It is so lifelike. I remember when I talked about the Bad Batch, how I said the animation was just really great, and it still is. This, in comparison, is so much better. I remember saying that the Bad Batch animation was like Pixar level, and probably I would say that still holds up, but this is like cinematic Pixar level animation. I mean, the movements are just so fluid. The shadows and the shading is just, and the lighting is just so much better. It just makes the characters like pop out more, I guess. They just look more smooth and streamlined, and also just more realistic. I just love it. It's so great. It's still that classic art style that we're used to in the Clone Wars, that dynamic, caricaturesque style that they have going on, but it's still so great. I think Star Wars Explained kind of said it best, or it's like this series started with a movie, so it kind of makes sense that we're ending the Clone Wars with a movie, though split up into several parts. I mean, I have a feeling that they animated and wrote this entire like 4-part episode to be a movie and then just cut it up into episodes. Hence why the beginning starts off with part 1 instead of, just the classic normal fortune cookie title. And of course, we open up with this great battle with Obi-Wan and Commander Cody on the battlefield, fighting all these separatist battle droids on this bridge. Classic Star Wars. It does remind me of how the Clone Wars animated movie started with Obi-Wan and Anakin facing off against a bunch of battle droids in this single file line on Christophsis. There's so many parallels with this episode and the first Clone Wars movie that I just really love. And I just love they're pinned down. Cody and Obi-Wan are just behind this rock, and they're like, "Where's Anakin? He's supposed to be coming." And Anakin's like, "I'm right here, guys." Just chilling there. He's just standing confidently, not even taking cover. And he's like, "Anakin, get down." He's like, "What are you guys doing down there?" "We're taking cover." He's like, "Oh, come on. We've faced more than these guys before." And he just walks out on the battlefield, dodging laser fire. Very reminiscent of Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi when he walked out in the Battle of Crate. I just love how quickly Anakin solves their problem. Anakin just shows up, he gets the strategical droid to come out, force pulls him, cuts him down, and then the 501st just come in and just bomb the whole place.
That was easy.
And then just seeing Ahsoka reunite with Anakin and Obi-Wan was very heartwarming. I also love how she just comes in, and again, it's very reminiscent to her entrance in the first movie. How she comes in on this ship, Anakin and Obi-Wan are waiting for her to meet her, and then Ahsoka just comes down, and unlike the first time when they met, when she came down on that ship, and he was all like, "Oh, a Padawan! I don't want a Padawan." Now he's super excited. "Ahsoka, I haven't seen you in forever." I really wish we got more Anakin and Ahsoka scenes because it's just so short. And it's heartbreaking because we know what's about to happen between them. As we find out, in this episode, the Mandalorians want help from the Republic to take over Mandalore and stop Maul. Basically want to work out a deal where like, you guys can get Maul, you guys can capture him, and then we can get our planet back. But they're like, well, Mandalore is not a Republic world, so we really can't intervene. And we'd be stomping over hundreds of years of peace treaties. We would essentially start another war. We can't just storm in there. I have to talk to the Jedi Council, but while he's talking with the Jedi Council, the Chancellor gets kidnapped, and I love the reference here where like Obi-Wan just runs in with Anakin and Ahsoka, and he's like, we gotta go. The Chancellor's been kidnapped. We have to run to Coruscant now. And he's like, last I heard, Shakti was protecting the Chancellor, but then Mace Windu like had to cut the feed because he had to run. So I don't know exactly what's going on. I don't know if he's captured or not, which is funny. This is actually a callback to the classic Clone Wars from 2003. During the Battle of Coruscant, Shakti and a few other Jedi were in charge of protecting the Chancellor Palpatine, from Grievous, and then Grievous showed up and totally just mopped the floor with them. Obviously, those episodes are no longer canon, but it was just nice to have that reference and have that connection there. And I also love the moment before this. You know, Anakin's like, oh, I want to show you the troops want to see you, and we have a surprise for you. And they all painted their faces to look like her. Or at least their helmets with that orange. You've seen it in the trailer. But the moment is still very heartwarming. Rex makes sure everyone stands at attention for her. And she's like, I'm not part of the military anymore. You guys don't have to do this. But they're like, we're still loyal. We love you. We're still going to do this. We don't care. Rex keeps calling her commander. And she's like, I'm not a commander anymore. And he goes, sure thing, commander. Like, you're still my commander in my heart. And it's such a beautiful moment. And after they get the news about the Chancellor, before Anakin has to run off, he gives Ahsoka back her lightsabers. But he's modified them so that they're blue now. They look nice, but the canon junkie in me is just really confused. You see, in the Ahsoka novel by E.K. Johnson, which details her adventures after the Clone Wars, and it does touch on the Siege of Mandalore a bit, at least the aftermath parts of it, it's directly reference that her lightsabers are green during the Battle of Mandalore, just like in the Clone Wars show, or that one green and that one greenish yellow lightsaber. So they were supposed to stay the same, yet for some reason, and without explanation, they've become blue. I mean, we're left to just assume Anakin. Like, Anakin kind of explains he's upgraded them, made them a little bit better, which means because he rebuilt them, I guess, although I don't know why they needed to be rebuilt. They weren't destroyed or anything. But anyway, Anakin remade them, and because of how Kyber crystals work, you know, a Jedi imbues a part of their soul into them when they build it, so the lightsabers always reflect the state of the soul of the person that built it at the time they built it. So they're blue because a piece of Anakin, I guess, is now inside her lightsabers, which is very poetic and it's beautiful. If you think of it that way, it's just, it bothers me from a canon standpoint. I got one piece of canon telling me they're green. I got a visual piece of canon telling me they're blue. Yeah, this is one of the most frustrating things about being a Star Wars fan. But what's really heartbreaking about this scene is Anakin runs off, and they just look at each other one last time, and they tell each other good luck, and the doors close. And that's the last time Anakin and Ahsoka would see each other again. Because after that moment, you know, this is the beginning of Revenge of the Sith. We're on the timeline of Revenge of the Sith now. And Anakin's life is about to change forever, as we all know. He's about to become Darth Vader. And the next time they meet, they're going to be enemies. You know, Anakin's not going to be there. It's going to be Darth Vader. And it's heartbreaking to know that now, that she's never going to see her friend again. At least not in the way he should be or how she remembers him. But we also get some great action scenes when they finally get to Mandalore. Yeah, there's a big jetpack space battle. I love it. Also, we get a ton of Star Wars Rebels references in this episode, mostly through the actual Battle of Mandalore, but there are other bits here and there. Like during the opening intro, we see a holo table with, you know, Mace Windu and some other Jedi, and Deepa Billaba and her Padawan, Caleb Doom. And if you're a Star Wars Rebels fan, you know that's actually Kanan Jarrus, before he became Kanan Jarrus, when he was still a Padawan. and it's really cool to see him. Kanan's one of my favorite characters from Rebels. He's actually my main favorite character from Rebels. So it's nice to see him pop up in the Clone Wars. We also get Ursa Wren, just like in the last arc, we saw her there, who is the mother of Sabine Wren. We also get Gar Saxon. He was one of the Imperial Mandalorians. He was actually like governor of Mandalore, in charge of Mandalore in the name of the Empire, and he was part of the Emperor's Hand. And so now we see him as a young man, part of Maul's Death Watch team. I love the designs of Maul's Death Watch team, all with the spiky horns and just the yellow visors and the red and black armor. It just looks so cool. Although that begs a question. When your entire army is designed to look like Darth Maul, why hasn't anyone guessed that Darth Maul is in charge of Mandalore right now and not Olmec, who's the prime minister, or at least the puppet prime minister under Maul? Like, you'd think someone comes by and goes, they look like Darth Maul. Why? Why do they look like that? I also love this one line right when the Battle of Mandalore actually starts, when they're coming in on their troop transports right before that big jetpack space battle. Olmec calls Bo-Katan. He's like, if you do this, the people will see this as an act of aggression on the Republic and they'll hate you for it. She goes, I don't care. And just shuts off the phone or the communicator. She's like, I'm here to win my planet back. I don't care if people like me for it. It's such a Bo-Katan thing to do, and I just love it. And, they seem to do pretty well taking back the planet. The enemies has to retreat into the under sewer areas of the planet. And, Ahsoka and her troops follow him there, but ends up being a trap laid by Maul. So all of her squad gets just slaughtered. We get this iconic line from Maul where he's like, I was hoping to fall Kenobi. Why are you here? And that's where the episode ends. And, man, I'm so pumped. Already, this first episode has been better than the last arc. And I would say better than even the Bad Batch. And I liked the Bad Batch episodes. I really liked that one. I like that arc. But this so far is top tier Clone Wars. And we're already in the first episode. And I am so excited to see where the next episodes take us. I'm just so excited. I'm loving this arc. If you have not watched any of the Clone Wars Season 7 at all, go ahead and start here. I mean, you might miss out on a few small things here and there from the last episodes, but I don't care. This is top tier Star Wars right here. Anyway, that's my basic and general thoughts of this episode. Also, you may have noticed that I changed my setup back to what I used to do when I was sitting in my chair. I got tired of standing, and honestly, I'm so excited. I felt like I wouldn't need to stand up to be energetic, so here I am. I'm probably going to keep doing this because it's just easier to sit down while I do these videos. Anyways, let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought of this episode. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was meh? I have a slight suspicion that you're all going to say you loved it, but that's just me. I don't know. There might be a few haters who just hate it for whatever reason. You exist. It's okay. I still appreciate your comments. Also, a quick announcement. Because the last Clone Wars episode is coming out on May the 4th, I want to have a special video dedicated to it. And because it's the final episode of the Clone Wars, I really want to make a special video about the Clone Wars as sort of a final goodbye to the series. And I want your guys' help on that. I'd like to include a few clips from you guys, the fans, to just kind of answer a few questions about the series. Basically, I want to know, what were your favorite moments in the Clone Wars? Why do you love the Clone Wars so much? What's your favorite memory about watching the Clone Wars? You can send your clips to, I'm going to link an email down below you guys can send the clips to, or I'll just put it here as well. I'll include these clips in that final video, in that goodbye video. I don't know if it's going to be my official Clone Wars review episode or if I'm just going to make it a separate video. But I just want to do something special for the end of the Clone Wars, because now it's officially over. I mean, it was over a long time ago, then it came back, and now it's gone again in such a short amount of time. But Clone Wars has been one of my favorite aspects of Star Wars lore, and I just want to do something special to send it off with. If you want to be included in that video, send me your clips down below. Just try to keep them to a few seconds. I don't know. I want to try to fit as many people in there as possible, so yeah, just keep it to 5-10 seconds long. If you haven't already, maybe consider subscribing to my channel and maybe hit the notification bell as well so you'll be notified of all my future videos. Also, maybe hit the like button, as that does help out the channel. Or you can hit the dislike button, I guess. I mean, you could do that, but why? Why would you do that? Why would you be that mean?
How dare you!
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a good one.